Today we're diving into a strange paradox about modern life. We're living in an age of anxiety, and it's doing some really weird things to our wallets. Are we all just becoming irrational spenders? Or is there something else going on?
Okay, let's be real for a second. Have you ever found yourself in the grocery store agonizing over which brand of pasta sauce is 10 cents cheaper, only to go home and drop a ton of money on concert tickets without even thinking about it? It feels totally backward, right? But what if I told you that, in a weird way, it might be the most logical thing you could be doing? Yep, it all boils down to one simple word: anxiety. Think about it. When the world feels completely chaotic and unpredictable, we start looking for anything we can control. And our spending? That's one of the most direct ways we can do it. We're not just buying stuff anymore, we're buying a feeling.
So this brings us to our first big idea, the anxious wallet. It's this pretty simple concept, really. When everything out there feels like it's spinning out of control, we instinctively reach for the one thing we do have power over, our purchasing power. We're literally trying to buy ourselves a little piece of certainty.
And that's really the heart of it. That Buy Now button isn't just about getting a package in the mail. A lot of the time, it's an attempt to solve an emotional problem. We're chasing that quick hit of feeling good, that little bit of reassurance about the future. So let's break down how this actually plays out in the real world.
Okay, so where do we see this anxiety pop up first? Well, it's in our search for solace, for some kind of comfort. But here's where it gets really interesting. We're basically chasing that comfort in two totally opposite directions at the very same time.
So on one hand, we have this deep craving for a super quick, almost instant escape from just feeling totally drained. But on the other hand, we're pushing back against all the digital junk out there, seeking something real, something human. So how does this strange split show up in what we're actually buying?
All right, let's talk about the 5-second escape. This is all about getting relief and getting it fast. A great example is that Muji sleep spray that just blew up online. People started calling it sleep anesthetic. That's how badly we want a quick fix. Or think about those mini projectors that can instantly turn your bedroom ceiling into a starry night. The goal here isn't to solve your life's problems. It's more like emotional first aid, a quick patch to get you through the day.
But then, at the very same time this is happening, you've got this huge backlash brewing. I mean, we're all getting flooded with AI-generated everything, and people are just over it. They're tired of the perfect, soulless content. You know, the AI slop. And you can see this search for authenticity everywhere. Why are concert tickets selling out like crazy? Because we're desperate for that shared, real human experience. Why are film cameras making a comeback? Because we want the messy, imperfect, tangible memories. It even explains why ugly, cute toys like Labubu are so popular. They feel quirky and real, like something a person made, not an algorithm.
Okay, so that's our search for comfort. But what about control? Well, if the outside world is a mess, what's the one thing you feel like you can control? Yourself, your body. And this is where we see spending shift from just feeling good to taking direct physical action.
And one of the most fascinating trends popping up here is something people are calling male self-pleasing. You know that old idea that men shouldn't care about their appearance? That's completely falling apart. Now, things like skincare and cosmetic procedures are being seen as a smart self-investment. It's all about optimizing yourself. And trust me, this is not some small niche thing. Just look at what happened when the YouTuber Joe Man made a video about his cosmetic procedures. It absolutely blew up. We're talking over 1.1 million views. He wasn't ashamed of it at all. He basically framed it like getting an upgrade for your phone. And the effect in the real world was insane, and it was immediate. Clinics started reporting that inquiries from men shot up by 30, even 40% right after that video went live. Think about that. One person talking openly about this helped make it okay for a whole new group of people.
This obsession with control doesn't just stop at our looks, though. It goes way deeper, right into our health. With all the information we have now, we're all kind of turning into health control freaks. We don't just want products that are vaguely good for us, we demand precision. So the days of just taking a generic multivitamin and hoping for the best, they're kind of over. Now we want to treat the specific symptom. Why take a vague supplement when you could get a targeted weight loss injection? We're not just grabbing any fish oil off the shelf, we're flipping it over to check the exact concentration levels. It's all about having precise, measurable control over our own bodies.
All right, this leads us to our final big idea, and it's a huge one. It's how anxiety is totally redefining what we even consider to be valuable.
In a world where we have a million choices for everything, we're starting to realize that our most limited resource isn't our money, it's our brain power.
For years, the name of the game was CP value, cost performance. Getting the best bang for your buck. But that's the old way of thinking. The new logic is all about decision fatigue value. We are so tired of making choices that we will actually pay to avoid making them. And that leads to one thing, a demand for totally effortless shopping.
Right, so this is the key. The question we ask ourselves has changed. It's no longer just, is this a good deal? It's, will buying this save me mental energy? Will it spare me the pain of having to read 100 reviews and compare 10 different websites?
And here's a perfect example. A Dyson air purifier, a really premium item costing over 20,000 new Taiwan dollars, was a huge bestseller. Why would that be? It's definitely not the cheapest. It's because the name Dyson is a mental shortcut. People trust the brand, and they're willing to pay a lot more just to avoid the hassle of researching all the alternatives. That right there, that's decision fatigue value in action.
So when we put it all together, this need for a quick escape, this desire for precise control over our health, and this new demand for shopping that's just easy, a really clear picture starts to form. Your spending habits are telling a much deeper story. It turns out that in this anxious world we live in, pretty much every purchase we make is an answer. It's our attempt to solve two very basic, very human questions that are nagging at all of us, whether we realize it or not. So what are these two questions? The first one is simple. How can I feel better like right now? That's your 5-second escape. That's the comfort buy. And the second question is, how can I make sure tomorrow isn't worse than today? That's your health investment. That's you buying the pricey thing you know won't break. That's the concert ticket for a real memory.
So, the next time you're looking at what's in your online shopping cart, try to see it differently. It's not just a random collection of stuff. It's actually a map of your deepest anxieties and your fundamental human need to find some control when everything feels so out of control. Which leaves us with one final question for you to think about. The next time you're about to click buy, just pause for a second and ask yourself, what am I really buying this for?
喜欢这种学习方式，欢迎订阅我的频道，让我们一起用下一个10分钟，把商业英文变简单。